What up, y'all, and welcome back to the Orange and Blueprint Podcast, episode 2. I'm here with my hitter to the left, my guy Jonesy. What's up, baby?
What's up, my guy?
How you feeling, man? You looking good, man. The Rude sponsorship, man, it's taking off, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
The dollars and the cents, they hitting your man purse. You know what I'm saying? Everything looking clean.
I don't have a man purse, first and foremost. Come on, man. Secondly, let's not call out any brand names unless they got some bread. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So, I mean, shout out to Rude, man.
I like the shirt, though.
I appreciate, you know?
Yeah.
Call us. Reach out, man. We open to all things, man. So, you know what I mean? But I just want to shout out to everybody that supported the first episode. We've seen all the love, all the comments, likes, subscriptions, feedback. Please, if you haven't yet, go check us out, the Orange and Blueprint Podcast on all platforms. Like, subscribe, comment. Go do the polls that we're putting up, man. Like, we're really loving the feedback. And, you know, all feedback is good feedback. So appreciate y'all. And let's keep this thing going up. Shout out to my guy, Vel. He had a quick note from last episode. So just want to amend one thing. We said that Brunson was his 4th season here, but it's actually his 3rd, which we know. It just feels like he's been here forever, like we did mention last show.
Right.
So just a quick amendment about that. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody supporting. And speaking of Brunson, let's kick it off there with a little Brunson spotlight. He is the captain of the team, the engine that makes this thing go. Right. What were they saying about Brunson and where he's at now, Jonesy?
So according to the Knicks PR Twitter, as far in regards to his injury, says Jalen Brunson's sprained right ankle is doing controlled court work, and his status will be updated in approximately 1 week. I was telling you ahead of the taping. I think my personal prediction. I think he might be targeting that Milwaukee Bucks game.
Okay, you know, so that's on Friday.
That's on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So they said approximately 1 week, and this is as of yesterday, which would be, we're filming this on Sunday, so it would be Saturday.
Okay.
So it seems like he might be maybe targeting a return next week.
Okay.
We'll see what happens, because we're gonna struggle to win that game without him.
Absolutely, man.
I think he knows that.
I hope you're right. But then also on the contrary to that, probably a tougher game to come back for. You know, going against Dame and Giannis and that whole bit. So, I mean, let's see if you're right. I mean, you know, you weren't last week on your predictions, but, you know, we don't got to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Not yet, at least. You know what I'm saying? Right. But let's see. But here we are. Had a week of games, a tough week. We are still 3rd, cemented in the 3rd seed, 44-26. I'm going to be honest. As a Knicks supporter, lifer, last week wasn't fun. It's one of those weeks where you're just like watching the games is laborious, bro. Like, this is a chore. It was really looking like JV basketball, bro. Really like, you know, Deer Park versus Sachem East. It was looking crazy, bro. I mean, for people that know Long Island, or we could do, I mean, whatever city school you want to pick, but it was looking real JV, bro. It was some ugly basketball, bro. Like, to the point where, damn, Tracy Morgan threw up on the goddamn court, bro.
Oh, man.
Bro, they made Tracy Morgan sick, bro. They made Tracy sick, man. Like, shout out to
Garden Glizzies, man.
Shout out to Tracy, man. He said he had food poisoning, man. But the Knicks play was damn near worse than food poisoning. But he's doing well. But man, like, I had to avert my eyes a few times. We start off the week with a win versus Miami. Slow start.
Right.
Very slow start. I feel like that's kind of like the theme of the week, where these first quarters we coming out sleepwalking. But I'm not too surprised based on, you know, being out west for 2 weeks and then coming back and, you know, having a day off and then playing right away. You know, so they picked it up as the game went on versus Miami. What stood out to you in that game?
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed the slow start. I actually feel like the slow starts have kind of been an issue all season.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, odd, but it's obviously without Brunson, it's even worse.
Yes, absolutely.
In the game against Miami, I was pleasantly surprised by, you know, who stepped up. Mm-hmm. I feel like Karl Anthony Towns, you know, he's been playing very well.
Aggressive.
Yeah. As frustrating as he can be sometimes. Like, really, you know, Karl Anthony Towns, he does great things, and then sometimes he'll just, you know, do a boneheaded.
Nah, real talk.
A boneheaded play.
Real
and it's
talk.
Just like, you know, I remember in the summertime when we acquired him, and there was a lot of comparing him to like Julius Randle. Very different skill set, but a lot of the same flaws.
Yeah.
So, like as far as like, you know, driving into traffic with your head down,
Yeah.
not making the right reads, kicking out when you should kick out. You know, he forces the issue a lot, but you know, he's a great shooter. He had 23 points that night, 7 boards. One thing I noticed, and I kind of predicted this.
Okay.
Since Mitch has come back, because Cat has been dominant on the glass all year. Since Mitch has come back, you know, that has tailed off a little bit, which should be expected.
Right.
Because Mitch had 9 boards himself off the bench.
Yeah.
In 24 minutes. And then we got Mikal Bridges, a 28-point game. Was this right after? Or that was last week when he called out Tibbs.
Yeah, it was last week.
That was last week.
So a few days after.
But that since then, Mikal has been on the uptick with performance.
Mm-hmm.
Mikal is just continuing that play on Miami and all week really. You know, just playing good basketball.
I think to me what stood out in that game, and good points by you, like you said, Cat, and then the Mitch thing.
Mm-hmm.
That for me is the takeaway. Mitch starting to really get his legs back. He had a couple of putback dunks.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know he's starting to feel more comfortable and feeling like springy again, because he hasn't been very springy since he's been back. And I know we spoke about this, just, you know, between you and I, him being cognizant and probably nervous about his ankle and landing on people's feet, because that's always a thing, because he's a jumper.
Right.
When you come off your feet, bro, you come down in traffic, you're gonna come down
As
on
a
people's,
rebounder.
As a rebounder, you're gonna come down on people's on feet and roll your ankle. So he's been I even saw him close out on a shot. Mitch used to close out and jump real high. He closing out now and just kind of like staying on his feet and like just throwing his hands up. So
he got enough length to do it,
bro.
that way.
Like I really do
jump.
like that he's being more careful and less reckless.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sign of maturity to me. And I'm like, yo, we need you healthy, bro. So like, you don't got to go crazy over one rebound or a block. If it's game 7 with a second left and somebody's putting up a shot, go nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, but regular season, we don't need that. So that stood out to me. Also, shout out to Josh Hart, triple double.
Bounce back game for
Bounce
him.
back game and a triple double, tied with Clyde Frazier, my guy, for the most triple doubles in a single season in Knicks franchise history. So he's tied right now with 8. We have, after this next week of games, we'll have 8 games remaining. So I think that puts us at like 12 games right now that we have remaining. Do you think he breaks that record?
I do. Because I feel like, you know, once you know, like you're right there for like setting franchise history, like you're gonna be playing with that in mind.
For
Like
sure.
you're playing with a higher purpose. Because really, if you really look at the standings, I mean, we're kind of too far back to move up.
Oh, we're not moving up.
We're not moving up.
We're not catching the
and
Celtics.
It's gonna be kind of hard to move back.
Yeah.
You know, we would have to like do a lot of losing, which
Yeah.
we did a lot. No, not a lot of losing this week, but we did some losing.
We treaded water.
We
this
treaded
week.
water.
We just got to tread.
Yeah, we kept a head above ground. So it's going to be hard to move back. So, you know, I think in these times, these dark days of the season, you got to try to find different motivations.
Yeah.
And I think Josh Hart has one. So I think he hits it.
That's a good point, man. I'm going to have to agree with you on that. And his style of play, them rebounds, he's going to get double-digit rebounds. And the assist, him passing up on shots all the damn time anyway. So he's going to get that. And he can get 10 points. You know what I'm saying?
I think his triple doubles, you know, when he's working on a triple double, if he's pushing off of rebounds and transition. Because in half court, let's be honest, Josh Hart's not offering much aside from rebounding.
Yeah. And if it's against a team that has a lot of size, then it's, you know, even tougher for him in a half court to offer that rebounding.
And has discipline.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to really close out on him or be, you know, chasing him at the 3-point line. But some of these bad teams, they still do it. You know, a good team, they just leave him wide open disrespectfully. And he gets in his head, so he allows it.
Yeah.
But in transition, he's a problem. Like he could really get a bucket, and he could really create for his teammates.
For sure.
So that's what I'm looking to see. So I think he hits it.
Okay, cool. I'm in agreement with that. Josh, go ahead and break that record, man. Go make that happen for yourself. Cement yourself in Knicks history, man. Put your name in cement that. So, all right, so you move on from that Heat game. Then we hit the road for the Spurs. And, brother, my man.
Bad news.
Dog, like, Sandro, so hold on. His name is Sandro Mamukelashvili. Mamukelashvili. Shout out to all my language arts teachers. I enunciated that rule. You have to break down the words. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. This man went 7 for 7 from the 3-point line. 34 points, 9 rebounds in 19 minutes, bro. I never heard of him in my life.
Yeah.
I think they said he had the longest last name on the back of a jersey or something like that. Him and Shea Gilgeous. But Gilgeous, his is hyphenated. So,
right.
like this is crazy. That game was disgusting, bro. Like,
absolutely.
I woke up with a frown on my face the next morning, man. That was bad business. We clearly were missing, our floor general that night. Like, we looked lost, sloppy ball handling, just a lot of hero one-on-one ball. Like, it was ugly, man. And then I think for me, something that I realized is during this time without Brunson, I need Mikal Bridges. The number that I need 20 shot attempts. 20. You cannot have these 11s and these 12s. I need 20 shot attempts from Mikal Bridges without Jalen Brunson present. Like, my brother, you got traded for a haul.
Yeah.
Right? You coming up on contract. You putting us in a weird spot, homie. And you got the skills. He got the requisite skills to pay the absolute bills. Like, can we get it?
Mm-hmm.
Can we? He gave it last night. I need 20 shot attempts from that man. Like, I'm like, yo, how you just basketball's personally the most fun part of basketball is shooting. Not for Josh Hart, but it's shooting the ball, bro. Scoring the basketball.
Right.
And he got all the skills in the world, but sometimes he just drifts.
Yeah. I think, let me just speak to what you just said, and then I'll talk about the game overall as well. I feel like Macau's in, so he's known as the Iron Man of the NBA. He hasn't missed a game in his whole career.
Mm.
And what is it?
Knock on that wood. Yes, sir.
He hasn't missed a game in his whole career, and I think it's been 6 years, 7 years, something like that. So maybe more than that. I feel like his intensity wavers, and I feel like that's some of the reason he's able to
play all these games.
Because he won't drive and create contact.
Mm.
He has been getting to the line more since he's been in his role with Brunson out, but it's not enough. Like, a lot of times he'll shy away from contact. He'll do the fallback jump shot instead of going and initiating contact and getting to the line. His intensity kind of wavers, so his ability is up there, like all-star level. I mean, his post game, his left shoulder fade, right shoulder fade.
Mm-hmm.
He could hit the corner three with the best of them. From above the break, he's not great, but I mean, he doesn't shoot it enough to even improve it.
Even have a sample size to say it's great or not great.
Exactly. Like, he missed one or two, he just stopped shooting. So I wish he had that killer instinct in him, but with Mikal though, I will say, I did note that his intensity wavers. Yeah. I'm excited to see him in the playoffs. Fair. Intensity is at an all-time high at all times. I want, he's been on a team that ran to the finals.
That's true.
And he played a big role on that team. You know what I'm saying? I know what OG Anunoby and speaking of that game, OG was by far the worst of the starting five of that game. Yeah. Like, when he's on his BS. Yeah. Man, it's really ugly to watch. Yeah. It's bad.
Nah, it is, bro. Because he doesn't have any finesse to his game. Grace. Zero grace.
Mad physical, just
playing like an ogre.
Yeah, poor decisions, just driving into traffic, and then you can see, when you see these guys on other teams, it's like, yo, that guy's injury prone. Like, why is he so injury prone? Yeah, and then it's like, oh. Okay,
now I know.
That's why. Yeah. This guy's just jumping into traffic. Like, just like you said about Mitch, he's being cognizant or not.
Yes.
OG's the complete opposite of the spectrum.
Caution to the wind.
He doesn't care. Yeah. And it's like, in some ways, I appreciate that. But it's like, now is not the time for that. We don't need that right now. At this point, we need you healthy for the playoffs.
For sure.
Do that in the playoffs.
For sure.
We don't need that right now. But anyways, OG was horrible. Macau only had, 14 points or something like that?
Yeah, it was something really just...
Cat had a big... Yeah, Macau had 14 points. OG had 14 points.
That's paltry, man. That's terrible, bro.
Very poor shooting percentages for them. Cat had 32. And Mitchell Robinson had 11 points, 13 points, 11 rebounds. So it's like... I feel like... that game... You mentioned, what is the guy's name? I'm not even gonna play myself trying to say that.
Sandro, you call him Sandro.
SV, my man SV. He hit some shots down the stretch, But I think I was telling you on the phone, like, man, you cheat the game it's gonna pay you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You took a whole second quarter off.
Yeah, bro.
They gave nothing in the second quarter.
Second quarter, I said, just pack this up.
Right? Nothing in the second quarter. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
First quarter, we lost 20-29. The second quarter, we lost 23-38.
That's crazy.
Okay. The third quarter, we won 29-16. And then we lost the fourth quarter 33-37. We lost the game
left.
In the second quarter.
No gas left, bro.
In the first half.
Because we came out third quarter, like, cut the lead to, single digits.
We completely shut them down, but you're digging yourself out of such a deep hole that you got to be perfect for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
And it's like, you leave no room for error.
Yeah.
And, Josh Hart said after the game, like, they're embarrassed by these losses and, just the will to win, the intensities, like, it's not a sign of a Tom Thibodeau team. It's something he mentioned. And it's like, man, but we've been having these conversations a lot throughout the year. And I wonder, like, what's missing, from last year's team to this year's team? What changed?
I know. Dante DiVincenzo was a major one. And I was not, well, no, the guys for me are Dante and Isaiah, bro. Those are the two guys for me. Because Hartenstein's effort is max nightly, right? Those offensive rebounds that he used to get, we used to eat so much off them offensive rebounds, bro. Back tap, the volleyball back taps, offensive rebound, kick out, open three, splash. Like those things, they hurt teams. Those are back-breaking things that happen.
Facts.
And they had to call time. It's momentum swings. Big momentum swings. We don't get those like easy buckets anymore. Like, those are extra, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Everything now is like so half court, grind it out. If you score, you score. If we don't, we're not getting them offensive rebounds no more like we used to. So yeah, but I mean, if you think it's Randall, by all means. But I
think Randall's intensity and his seriousness and his physicality, play a part, like in the identity of the team. Even though he wasn't like much of a defender, I do think that his style of play and like even like not to change subjects, but the Cavs series that we won. Like, you say Mitchell Robinson, you say Hartenstein, but Randall was a part of that, bruising Mobley and those guys.
True.
Like, he was a part of that. He was a part of that, not a huge part, because I do agree with Hartenstein and who did you say?
DiVincenzo.
Hartenstein and
Dante.
DiVincenzo. More so DiVincenzo for the shooting, the above the break shooting, transition threes.
The
ability, the confidence to take 15 threes in a game or some shit like that.
Bro.
These guys like hesitate. What I see a lot with this team is kick out, pump fake, drive, kick out, pump fake, drive, kick out, and guys is like scared to fire.
Right.
Like they don't have the confidence.
Dante ain't had that problem, bro.
Yeah, quick release.
Yep.
And a lot of confidence. Like even like when he won the playoff game, he missed one. He took one, missed it, got it back and took it again.
No hesitation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
McCall would have pump faked and tried to take a two. Like that's not what we need.
Yeah,
so,
you're absolutely right.
Anyways, but yeah, that game was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like indicative of.
Yeah, you throw that tape away.
Yeah, throw
that
shit
tape away, bro.
Throw that shit in the
Throw that tape away.
garbage.
Throw that tape away. Don't even waste time on that.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they didn't have time to waste on it because they had to go to Charlotte the next night.
And then they did it again.
Ran back the bullshit. Ran the bullshit right back.
What a much more talented team, though.
Yes, a much more talented team. Mark Williams gave us the business.
Facts.
Shout out my Jamaican brethren,
Right,
Mark, right? And killed us on the boards. Like, it was just, you just saw it, man. These guys are gassed. And this is why I made the prediction that I made last week about how we were going to do this week. Because I'm like, this is a ridiculous part of the schedule. Like, this is tough. And then to not have Brunson to boot, we were set up. Thank God we banked all the wins that we banked earlier in the year. Right. Created that space in that room. Because like you said, these are the dog days of the season. So, nothing special during that Hornets game, man. We looked really, really bad. Cat was probably the only person that had a game or a stat line that was noteworthy, and it wasn't even that impressive to me. Like, respectfully, like when I see Cat with like 23 points ain't enough with the salary that Cat makes, his stature on the team. I need 28 men minimum. I need to see them 30s, them 35. That's what I want to see from Cat. He's too skilled to give me 23 points is nothing for Karl Anthony Towns if everyone else doesn't have it going. I want you going off. But again, it's a back-to-back dog days of the season in March. Been on the road for hella days. Went home for a cup of tea and back on the road. I'm not going to kill Cat about that.
For another back-to-back.
For another back-to-back. I'm not going to kill Cat about that. It is what it is. We move on. We still, like I said, are cemented in the 3rd seed, 44 wins. So we move on from that. And, man, I pray to God for the win last night versus the Wizards. Because I was like, there's no way. I said, if we lose to the Wizards, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah.
The talking is going to get loud. Knick Nation is going to become, dysfunctional as we tend to be most of the time. It was going to get real, real spooky. No Deuce McBride. A champagne campaign start, right? Seeing campaign name and starting lineup, I said, oh, Lord, here we go. You know what I'm saying? So what were your takeaways from yesterday's game versus the Wizards?
Well, I would say, I'm happy we won.
Absolutely.
First and foremost.
Win is a win is a win, bro.
A win is a win, especially, when you're jockeying for playoff position and, trying to get to that 50-win mark, hopefully, for another year in a row, which would be great. But I'm not taking too much from it. It's the worst team in the NBA.
Yep.
This team is awful. Jordan Poole did play. I know it was questionable. He was questionable. He did play. But yeah, this team is awful. So I'm not taking too much from it. But the good thing, the positives I would say would be, Tyler Kolek minutes.
Kolek minutes, baby. Hashtag Kolek minutes.
We, Knicks Nation has been kind of asking for some of these young guys to get minutes.
Begging and pleading.
Deuce McBride is working on a groin injury. He's been kind of playing through for some time now.
Man. I feel like Deuce is off nicked and injured a bit. Not to be punny.
He started the season that way.
It's his style of play. When you play that hard, every possession, on ball, lateral movement, like he plays really hard. He might have to look into some, adjustments to his offseason regimen to kind of like prep for that. Some kind of preventative measures because of his style.
Yeah. He doesn't miss much time, no?
No.
He plays through. He's a football player.
Yeah, man. He's a tough dude.
Yeah.
He's a tough dude.
He plays through.
Shout out Deuce.
But CP from Knicks Fan TV was saying he heard that we should get used to the Kolek minutes because Deuce is going to be out for a few games, which makes sense. We're getting ready for the playoffs. Like we want everybody to be as healthy as they can be for this run because I don't care what the media is saying and, they're saying, and I'm sure we're going to get into it.
Absolutely.
But, there's a lot of crazy nonsense talk about what this particular iteration of the Knicks can and will do.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with any of it, but there's only one way to to prove it is show and prove. So this is sports. Like we got to roll the bullseye and play.
For sure.
So the Knicks are gearing up for that, I believe. Dropping these games is not what you want to do, but nursing all these injuries and getting your guys back to health.
Yep.
Mitchell Robinson looking amazing.
Yep.
Even in all of those losses, he personally played great.
Yeah.
In all of them.
Yeah.
He's making a huge impact on winning, and last night he came back because he missed the game before.
I think they sat him for the back-to-back,
yeah,
right?
He's not playing back-to-backs. Yep. Mitch was back and made an impact. And Tyler Kolek, 7 dimes in the first half, a nice and one finger roll jelly off the top of the backboard. Bridges, high 20s.
Yeah,
game.
I think he was 28 last
28.
night. Yeah.
OG had a big game. Cat had a big game. Yeah. So I was like, it's what you expect.
They did what they're supposed to do.
They did what they're supposed to do when they're rested.
Yes.
With some energy.
Yes.
And now we got another 2 days off.
Yes.
So that's important.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah, Tyler Kolek minutes, campaign got to start. Campaign shot the ball well early in the game and also down the stretch in the fourth quarter. It was pretty much a nice, easy win. It got a little shaky there early in the fourth. I had to come back, sit down in front of the TV because after a while we were smoking them so bad.
Change the volume, put it on a different number.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it got but the cat settled the balanced, steadied the ship. And then we moved on. So
okay, yeah,
that's it.
Something that you touched on, and that's a significant part of yesterday's win. Kolek minutes. Hashtag Kolek minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Kolek is a Knick kid, right?
Right.
And we have had some Knick kids that had tremendous hives, if you will, followings or groups right? You had the RJ Hive, you had the Obi Hive, who I was a significant member of.
And RJ.
Yeah. I think you were the president of the RJ Hive, president and creator. You and Sean, you and I Hate Sean are the RJ Hive guys. For me, Quentin Grimes, definitely a part of that hive. I loved Quentin Grimes. I love his game. He was like supposed to be H2O light or H2O 2.0.
Yep.
So I've been noticing, and I wanted to talk about this. These guys are starting to kind of like evolve. They're starting to blossom. Obi Toppin with a game winner in overtime versus Julius Randle. 34 points, 10
game.
rebounds. Obi called game. And then going on Instagram and Twitter and captioning bet on yourself. Then you got QG, my guy, Quentin Grimes, a.k.a. GQ. Bro, his last 7 games, 25, 35, 29, 28, 46, 28, and 25 points respectively. Respectively, pardon me, in Philly. He's green light gang over there for them now because, you know.
They got nothing.
They got the Paul George experiment has come to an end, it seems. I heard they're looking to facilitate a trade for him at the end of the season.
Good luck.
So you have that happening. And then, so I was like, all right, let me go do a little bit more research. Let me go check on because I haven't seen too many Raptors games. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably got a TSN subscription and go check on your guy, RJ Barrett. But Quickly is doing 17 points a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. RJ's doing 22 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Yo, these dudes they're becoming who people thought they were going to become, it seems.
Right.
Where do you fall on that? Like, were mistakes made? Were guys jettisoned that should have stayed here and been a part of the mix? So we talking about Kolek minutes and how hard it was for that to come by and the lack of our bench depth. We got killed versus the Hornets and bench points. I mean, I think they had 52. We had 38 or 32. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, our bench minutes are so bad. Like, and we're seeing these young players that we drafted and developed. I was having this argument. Shout out to my guy, Coach T. He's a player development coach, really great at his job. And there's a lot of debate about, are Knicks young players being developed? Are they being developed adequately? And I had to say, of course they're being developed. They're at practice with a Tom Thibodeau, legendary coach. There's guys on the staff like Mo Cheeks, Othello Harrington that played in the league. You got a guy like H2O in the front office as the assistant GM. Development is definitely happening. However, on-court minutes, I feel, and it's an argument that's where most of the development and the growth and evolution takes place. What you think about their tenure here and them no longer being here and how they were handled?
Woo, that's a loaded question. All right, so so in regards to RJ and Quickly, well, let me speak first to were they developed. I believe all 4 of those guys were developed. Obi the least.
Okay.
Only because of circumstance.
Randall.
You know, the way that happened,
Yep.
It's like, you know, I can't put too much blame on Tibbs for that because it's hard. It was hard to find minutes for him when Randall's playing all NBA basketball.
Correct.
And Obi can't play the center position.
Correct.
And neither can Randall. So it was a hard, like if Cat was here, Obi would have played more minutes.
Because you could have played with Cat.
Exactly.
Where Randall was dressed.
Right. So, but everybody else, I feel like they were developed. I feel like there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, you can throw the kids out there and, you know, put them out in the madness and let them figure it out on their own by trial and error. You could also build a winning culture and spoon feed, you know, opportunity and spoon feed in-game experience while training and learning in the background. I feel like a lot of what's happening today is a testament to the work or the development that Tibbs did with these guys.
Fair enough.
I feel like Tibbs' method pays off later.
Yeah.
As to where the other way could potentially pay off sooner.
Yeah.
But it could also turn into you just a loser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You never figure out how to win.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like, you know, there's a thin line between, you know, learning by experience and just never learning, like just learning how to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like RJ in his first year was on that path with David Fizdale. Just a bum, just losing. Like the team was horrible, not developing any good habits. Tibbs got RJ, I feel like, on the right track to where he became a winning, somewhat of a winning player, where he could contribute to winning. Like he played good in the playoffs, helped us be a 2 seed, a 5 seed, get out the first round. So like, quickly not so much. I feel like Quickly could have probably benefited from some more starting minutes, but he was in the rotation from day one.
Yeah.
So, Tibbs doesn't get credit for that, but he did give those guys opportunity. Now, that being said, they are flourishing now, and I do feel like Obi and Grimes in particular, it really burned us because of their lack of opportunity, we weren't able to really get anything for them.
Yes. They were sold really low.
We got nothing.
Yeah.
Like we got second round picks.
Yeah.
A bag of chips.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah. Cooler Ranch.
Right. And now these guys are contributing to winning, well, not necessarily winning, but contributing inside of a rotation to where we're struggling. We have no bench.
Yep.
They could have been part of that bench. So that's the only like issue I have with the development part. But I lean kind of more towards Tibbs' way.
Okay.
Because look at Deuce McBride, for instance. The Knicks truly utilize the G League. Like they respect the G League.
Yeah.
Because man, Deuce rookie season, he would go in the G League, drop 50.
He was going crazy on them, bro.
He would go to the G League, drop 50, and come back and can't hit a shot.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's the same court.
Right.
The 3-point line is the same distance.
The lights are just way brighter.
Exactly. It's the same court. So if he can do it there, he can do it here.
It'll translate eventually.
Yeah. The defense was there. You know what I'm saying? The intensity was there. And he was just a scorer. So now you're seeing that after a couple transactions happen, some space opened up. Now Deuce slides in that spot, and Deuce is able to show you what he's been working on. I feel like Tyler Kolek, maybe Pacome Dadier has shown some promise. Huck Porty. Like these guys could be on that trajectory. Who knows? Like we don't have any tradable assets other than players. So it's possible if this doesn't work out a year or two from now, maybe another transaction happens where we try to upgrade and we package some of these big contracts with some of these players that we have, and those guys would now be in their third season and be able to slide in just the way Deuce did.
Yeah.
So that's the way we do things in New York.
Yeah.
Some other people like OKC, they do it differently.
Yeah.
But it's like this. Like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
OKC the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? OKC really the land of opportunity. I feel like, damn, put me on the squad. Maybe I'll get a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in New York, man, minutes are very, very hard to come by. Tibbs does things the way Tibbs does things, man. And again, like you said, many different ways to skin a cat. And like we said last week, all of these are narratives until something happens, until you actually win. And then it's like, oh my God, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to wait and see. So the jury's still out, and we'll see.
Is this one more thing I wanted to add in regards to that? I think Tibbs' method fits the market.
Okay.
I don't know that the market can handle OKC's method.
I see what you're saying.
I know that is probably the right thing to do.
Fair enough. The New York media market crashing out on Pacome Dadier minutes and ruining him.
So what about his psyche?
Yeah, damn, I never considered that. That's a great point,
you
bro.
You can do that in OKC, and it's like it's cool. In New York, you're gonna get killed. Booed. You're gonna get booed.
They friends with the media out there, bro.
Exactly.
They putting clothes on dudes.
Yeah,
after the game.
I saw that. It's not happening here.
Shout out to my family out there, man. That's not going down in New York, and that's a great, great call out. And I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Wow, like nah, that's a gem right there. My guy Jonesy. This is why Jonesy is the guy, man. This is why, man. That's a dope one. All right, cool. And I want to honorably mention. You're going to say not so honorably mentioned. Like, so we talk about Knicks kids and former young Knicks players. My guy, Cameron Reddish, man. I'm reading that he may be getting released from the Lakers along with Alex Len. Cam Reddish, listen, Cam Reddish is my guy, man. I believe he got all the skills in the world. I feel like he's gotten definitely got to be some blame that's assigned to him. But I feel like he's gotten a tough and raw deal in the league, man. And sometimes you see players like this, they just can't get it right or can't find a home or a fit. But man, that dude got all the ability in the world, man. Like, can we get him for like some OG insurance? Like, I mean, Nick Hive gonna go crazy, man. I don't care. Cam is my guy. So cook me in the comments. Say what you got to say. We'll discuss it. But Cam is my... Can we get him for some OG insurance in the playoffs just in case OG pull up on his hamstring again? And we got Cam on... Because Cam's defense... That's what I'm talking about right now. So like a defensive purpose or benefit for us if needed. Can we do that?
Well, first and foremost, Cam wouldn't be playoff eligible.
Okay.
So this would be like a summertime thing.
Okay.
If that was going to happen. And I would be fine with it only because we have limited assets.
Yes.
And he would be cheap. But in regards to Cam Reddish, I just have to say, like, not for real. Like, I just have to say, for one, like, we've heard all the positive things about, in high school, he was the man, homie. Like, in high school,
you ain't just 50 Cent, my dog, bro. Come on, man.
In high school, he was like, oh, he's the most talented player. Anthony Edwards said that, right? And then
that really pissed you off because Anthony Edwards dissed RJ.
He did diss him, and I understood it. It is what it is. But at Duke, even coming out of Duke, they were like, oh, Cam might be the most talented one out of the three, right? With Zion, RJ, Cam. They get to the draft. They all go top 10. Cam goes to Atlanta, RJ goes to New York, Zion goes to New Orleans. Zion earned a max contract extension, even with all his injuries. RJ did too.
And BBL chasing.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah. Me or Zion?
No, Zion.
Okay.
and whatever he was chasing is crazy. But Cam, man, at some point, my overarching point is, at some point, if you just get fired from every job that you ever had, like, it's you, bro. Like, you could keep leaning on, oh, I'm talented, this, I'm talented, that. It's something that you're doing that you can't keep a job, bro. Like, you brought up yesterday to me, LeBron, after the Lakers acquired him, and Cam had a good game, and LeBron was like, yo, a lot of the stuff about Cam is overstated, this and that. And now he's about to get waived. So, I liken that, I hearken that to, like, you get a new job and you're on your best behavior. You showing up 10 minutes early, bringing the boss coffee,
yo, chill,
and stuff like that, right? And then now, 6 months later, you showing up late, smelling like reefer.
Yep.
Like, that's Cam Reddish.
This guy is crazy.
That's Cam,
bro.
bro.
Listen, man, please do not bastardize reefers. Reefers are now illegal in this country in many states.
Yeah, but showing up to work smelling like weed that's different than just smoking on your free time.
What about showing up smelling like cigarettes? Isn't that the same thing?
It's not the same thing.
Okay.
But it's disgusting, but it's not the same thing.
Okay. No disrespect to the smokers out there. No. 420 is soon, by the way.
Okay.
It's a big day for you.
I'm not a smoker.
Okay, pardon my error.
People who indulge. But yeah, I just feel like enough with this. I mean, I don't want to give up on Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old.
He's a young man, bro.
I always believe in the concept of, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Okay.
So I do think there's a shot for Cam Reddish to find his way and maybe be in a rotation consistently. I think the Cam Reddish is, living up to his potential of
it's over.
It's over.
Okay. That I can probably accept because I do know in life, after getting knocked down that many, it changes you.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, his confidence, no matter what he says, which he doesn't say much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
His confidence has to have taken a major hit, bro. Like, I'm sure he's not the same guy. And that's some key to life, bro. And key to success is confidence. You gotta have that. And his journey in the league has probably shaken that. So, but I just kind of want to touch on that. So we could definitely
not too much on Cam.
Yeah, we could definitely move on. But shout out to my guy Cam. Cam, you my guy if you see this, man. And speaking of shout outs, man, I want to shout out Knicks super fan. I don't even like calling him a fan. I don't like the word fan because I'm a Knicks supporter. Like, Knicks a family. Knicks supporter. Spike Lee's birthday was this past week. Spike Lee, one of my favorite directors and creatives of all time. I saw him All-Star Weekend. I was about to, flag him down, but he was moving. Spike Small. He's like, no one's catching me out here. I'm gone. And he got to the sprinter real fast. But speaking of Spike Lee, man, Spike Lee joints. What's your top 3 Spike Lee joints, bro?
Top 3 Spike
in
Lee
order.
joints.
In order.
In order.
From favorite to Or you can go least. What you want to go least the most?
I'll start least.
Okay.
Not least.
Not least.
Number 3.
But like number 3. Pardon me. Correct.
Number 3. Me personally, I'm gonna have to say this is like a you wouldn't expect, but I would say Inside Man.
Good call.
Yeah, Inside Man is
Good
fire.
call. Good call.
Inside Man is absolutely fire. Very creative. I love stories like that where the antagonist you can empathize with, where both people where the protagonist and antagonist are both right.
Yeah.
Similar to like Black Panther. Like
you
Killmonger, you could have feel him, but you could feel T'Challa as well.
Yeah.
Same thing with Inside Man. Like this guy is like a criminal, like trying to do a robbery, but he's trying to do it for to pay back a Nazi,
right,
a guy who sponsored the Nazis or whatever. So it was like that was a great one. I'm definitely going number 2, Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
Just a classic cultural movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 1 is Malcolm X. Man.
Okay.
I had to. My stepfather, when I was a kid, man, I used to have to watch that movie, and then this is a punishment. I used to have to watch that movie and
take notes,
write a response to this part of the movie. Like that movie is perfect. It's mad long.
Yeah.
That movie low key just changed the way I view the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The movie was great.
Does that experience, did that have any impact on your interest in film and creating? I know you say you had to take notes and things like that. Could that be kind of like your, liken it to kind of like a villain arc?
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Maybe. That wouldn't be the first thing that comes to mind when I think about that, but maybe. Okay. I gotta think some more.
Shout out Step Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Step Pops for that. That's dope. And shout out Inside Man. That's a good call. Fun fact that you did not know about me is I interned with 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks my junior year of college.
Fire.
That was a dope experience. And one of the dudes that was in Inside Man, Bear Jackson, he was the person that I reported to. I think he was I don't know if he was assistant director. I forget the role that he had on the movie, but he was in charge of the interns and a lot of the set management. And I don't know if you remember Inside Man, there was a big black dude that was screaming, "Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening." That's Bear. So shout out to Bear Jackson. And the director of that movie was Spike Lee's nephew, Boogie. His name is Boogie. So that was a cool experience for me. My first time ever working on a movie set.
Fire,
that was really, really dope. It was for the movie. It was a small movie. You're nobody till somebody kills you. It was cool. But here's my 3, going from 3 to 1. It's tough because it's really between Mo Better Blues, Crooklyn, and Jungle Fever.
Oh wow!
But I'm gonna go Jungle Fever. Jungle Fever is the amount of people that haven't seen Jungle Fever, bro, in our demographic is astonishing to me. And I think what I like about the movie so much is just the improbability of who he ended up with. That white woman, but leaving from his light-skinned black wife, and she's like, "Oh, I wasn't white enough for you. I wasn't, That was so interesting to me. Also, the roles that Halle Berry and Sam Jackson, shout out Gator, played as crackheads. I mean, bro.
Yeah.
They mashed that up, bro. They classic performances. So that's my number 3. Number 2, similar to you, is Do the Right Thing. Do the Right Thing. If it's on and I gotta go somewhere, I'm gonna be late. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, I might watch it right now when I get home.
Yeah, real talk. It's a good Sunday watch.
Yeah.
But you notice that Spike's stuff is not like on streaming services like that. Where you finding them at? Where you watching them at?
I would probably
You got to rent, I feel like.
or maybe through Verizon on demand.
Okay.
You know, shout out to Verizon.
Oh, yeah.
They pay the bills.
It sound like might have to share a password with me or something like that. I don't know. And then number one for me, Malcolm X. Malcolm X should have won an Oscar. Denzel should have won that Oscar. But people think Denzel is Malcolm X based on that movie. Like, he became Malcolm X.
Yep.
So much so that I remember seeing a dude got a tattoo for Malcolm X, but he got Denzel in the movie. And I wasn't even mad at him. I was like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So yeah, that's the one.
He clearly didn't watch the movie till the end, because at the end.
But he probably just wanted that. But Malcolm X, bro, like you said, long movie. I watch that movie at least twice a year. At least twice a year. I have to watch it. I ended up renting it maybe about 2 months ago because it was no longer free on Amazon, so I rented it. I don't care. Like, I love that movie, man. I love Spike Lee. So shout out to Spike. Go ahead. You got
just one more thing.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Spike, if you're listening, I got an idea, man. Right. So just follow me here. The Knicks win a championship, whether it's this year, next year, the year after. Knicks win a championship. Jalen Brunson gets a Nike deal. Okay, we get a New York Knicks parade, right? And then we got Jalen Brunson doing the Spike Lee signature dolly shot. Yeah. Through the parade.
The
just
dolly
talking.
Roll. Yeah.
Talking whatever he's talking, and then end with the Nike slogan.
Wow.
And boom, Knicks championship. Boom, boom, boom. Jalen Brunson doing the dolly shot through the parade.
Wow.
Right in front of MSG. Boom.
Wow.
Thank me later, man.
Wow. Hey, we're gonna clip that part. We're gonna clip that Spike, the Orange and Blueprint podcast at gmail.com. Tap in with my guy Jones. He's a creative and a creator as well. He got a great idea. So let's get that off. I love that.
We gotta win the chip first.
We gotta win the chip first. But that is a good one. I love that, Jones. I love that. Okay. I'm glad that you added that. And then a second shout out, the last shout out of this week is to my guy Starberry, Stephon Marbury. It said that he's bringing the Starberries back. Mm-hmm. In a sneaker marketplace now that I feel like is very welcoming to other brands, alternative brands. Before, it was just like the big guys, the Nikes, the Jordans, the Adidas. Now you're starting to see other things pop up. Like I know Kyrie with Anta, his kicks are pretty dope. Jaylen Brown has his own kicks, which are pretty cool. You got SGAs like with Converse, which is a little, different and off the beaten path. New Balance emerging. And even Skechers. A lot of guys are wearing Skechers and playing in Skechers. Sooner or later, you're going to start seeing high schools get a sponsorship or colleges get sponsorships from some of these lesser known brands. They're going to have to pay the cost for sure. But I mean, it could be worth it. So, I mean, shout out to Starberry, man. Like, let's see what happens. Make it shake. Because, I mean, those sneakers are cheap, affordable, inner city kids, less fortunate kids, less, families that have to watch a budget. Your kid want to hoop. They need some hoop kicks. Instead of running on court with something that got no grip, take these $20 shoes and make it work. So shout out Starberry for that, man.
Fire. Yeah. Steph, man, I always thought it was commendable, what he was trying to do. Showed that he really cares about his community. Yeah. And I just saw a video 2 weeks ago, or no, Valentine's Day, when the breads came out. They were scrapping over the... They were scrapping online over the breads. People getting beat up again. Yeah. That's when I truly knew that, the pandemic is over and things are back to normal. People getting
things
beat
are
down.
Definitely slowly, regressing back to the mean for sure.
Yeah. But, things like that, Stephon Marbury, putting out the affordable sneakers, it's always a tough battle fighting against, just like the marketing dollars of like the big companies that have conditioned us, and I'm guilty of it myself. Yeah.
I'm not admitting nothing on camera. Me personally, but go ahead.
I'm guilty of it. Yeah. Just like, the cost of an item, meaning something, the quality or who's wearing what. Yeah. It matters. And, you're fighting that battle anytime you release a $15 sneaker.
For sure.
But the thought behind it, I always found commendable. And shout out to Steph, man. I'm glad he's back in the Garden. I'm glad he patched up whatever he had going on.
Love it. Love seeing it, man.
And shout out to Steph, man.
Love
He's
it,
a New York hero.
Yes, a legend for sure.
Legend.
So we go from the shout outs to the Nick hater alert. So this will be a spotlight, I feel like, on the show as well, because we are never without some haters. So we got Udonis Haslem, formerly of the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
He said, first of all, I don't know why UD is on ESPN anyway. Like, I don't really want to hear UD. He's not entertaining to me. Like,
Yeah.
ESPN, I'm available. Call me. All right, UD, okay, cool. Played in the league, everything like that. All right, cool. But he's not, I ain't feeling it. I feel like he should be, and I'm not knocking a man for getting his money, get your money. But why he not like a Miami Heat studio reporter, analyst, sideline analyst, whatever have you? Like, here come UD dirty macking on Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Talking about we
like
done
that.
dirty dealings on the side with the contract because he took less. Bro, if you feel like that, don't bring that to TV. Don't bring that to national television, bro. That's for your group chat or your podcast. You brought that to ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Yeah, man.
A Disney-owned company? That's nasty.
Nasty word.
I'm not pleased. The Lord is not pleased. Like, what we doing, Udonis Haslem? And then he went on to say, if we play the Pistons, we're going to get swept.
Mm-hmm.
If you even want to say, I bet, the Knicks might lose that series. We are 2-1, or 1-2, pardon me, against the Pistons so far this season. They beat us twice in the Garden. We beat them the first game in Detroit, which was an early iteration of that team. New coach, you know. So I would put more credence in their 2 wins against us than I would with our win against them due to timing and the evolution of their team. You couldn't disagree. By all means, it's healthy for the show and the pod. Please do disagree, right? But to say they were going to sweep us,
Yeah.
I say, yeah, you're a Miami Heat lifer. You hate the Knicks.
Yeah.
And it's oozing from your pores.
Facts.
It's oozing from your pores, UD. Not feeling you, bro, and not feeling it. What you got on that, Jones?
I agree. I agree with most of that. You know, he's enabled to be
Objective.
Objective.
Yeah.
Like I saw another clip where, you know, Kendrick Perkins was like killing the Heat. They lost like 10 games in a row or something like that. Like they're playing horrible right now. And he was like, it's time to, you know, buckle down. And I know these guys in the locker room. Like bro, y'all stink, man. Y'all just stink. You're awful.
Come on.
And it's okay. Like, you know, you made a big trade. You traded a guy. Your team is just not good.
Y'all ain't it no more.
But because you're a Heat lifer, like you said, he's you know, he's speaking all this positivity into it. So obviously the Knicks don't get that same grace. Nobody likes to mention the fact that we didn't have our quote unquote starting center the whole season.
Fair.
None of those games versus the Pistons, Mitchell Robinson played in none of them.
Fair.
Mitchell Robinson has barely played. We haven't been a good defensive team prior to Mitch being out. When Mitch was out, but now that he's back, we're like the best defensive team in those minutes.
Jumped up a lot.
Like literally the best. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Mitchell Robinson makes a big difference, especially when you got the roster and you lose your center in the summertime. So, you know, Mitchell Robinson is the X factor, and I feel like he makes the difference. So I don't agree with UD at all.
Okay, I respect it. So we played them again one last time on April 10th. And speaking of future games that I'll be in Detroit, let's predict the week. We're gonna go ahead and wrap. Before we go, let's predict this upcoming week. Last week I said we would go 2-2. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what we did. Please, Jones, Zelle, Cash App, Clarin, Affirm, whatever you got to do, get me my fundage for being correct.
I got you.
Thank you in advance.
Betting over here.
Thank you in advance. Right. So this week, no game until Tuesday, but that's against the Mavericks at home. Then we have the Clippers on Wednesday. That is a back-to-back. I'm putting an alert out there for a potential Harden clinic. He's been playing really well. So a potential Harden Garden game. So OG got to come with it on defense that night. Then we're off, and then we're Friday Night Knicks. Shout out to, what is the dude name that make the song?
Robert Randolph.
Robert Randolph. I don't know if we ever gonna stop that song, but I love that song, right? And we end the week on Sunday versus the Blazers. I once again got us going 2-2. 500, tread water. Just keep doing that. Hold the position until the captain come back. That's what I'm thinking. 2-2 for this week. So the Mavericks, the Clippers, the Bucks away, and then the Trailblazers back at home.
I'm gonna go 2-2 as well.
Come on now. We changing hearts and minds over here, baby.
Nah, it's just that's what it calls for this week. And I just want to add, I predict now that you mentioned that, I predict Jalen Brunson return in Portland. Or against Portland.
Okay, against Portland. So you're moving it from Milwaukee to Portland.
Yeah.
Oh, good move.
Made a good point.
Good move.
I think he'll be back at the end of the week.
That's a good call. Good call out, man. Yo, dope show. I'm excited about this second episode. A great time. Honorable mention. Shout out to the St. John's Red Storm. They fell to Arkansas.
Yeah.
John Calipari led, a heavyweight bout between two legendary coaches, Calipari and Rick Pitino. Unfortunately, the Johnny season is over, but the arrow is pointing up. St. John's alumni, y'all get that NIL money up. We're going to start getting some dogs out there, man.
Cole. Jermaine, open that checkbook.
Open the checkbook, man. But yo, hey, thank y'all for rocking out with us. Another exciting episode of the Orange and Blueprint podcast. Follow us on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. We are there on all your places and platforms that you listen to or watch a podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, engage. We can't do this without y'all. I mean, we could, but we don't want to. So rock out. We talk to y'all next time, man. Peace.